Yeah, I have 3. So what is the p-value here?
It's 0.38.
Again, it is not a significant one. Okay, I'm just thinking if I get any example of significant.
Can we try shift once?
How many shifts? I think we have 2 shifts, but let's do this.
We have only 2 shifts.
Oh,
But
okay.
it has okay. It has still allowed me to do it, but the results are always not correct. But let's look at for a while. P-value here again is 0.233, so it is not
What about
serving the
team lead?
purpose. I think p-value is 0.227. This data is, I have to play with some data. Okay, let me do it if I'm in case not get it. Qualification, process knowledge. Okay, process knowledge is not an
Only 2
attribute sort
good
of.
and bad.
Sorry?
Only 2 things, good and bad. Process knowledge.
Something wrong with this data. Let me make some data and then we'll make you understand.
How about agent name? So that would have more.
Agent,
This is
good idea, but
multiple.
then yeah, but
We
there will be
don't know
many.
p-value is
There'll be
greater than 0.05.
there will be many, but let's try. Let's try. Yeah. Okay. P value is 0.601.
We can
Okay.
use it.
So let me play with some data. Then I want to show you. Let me play with. So let's look at so in tenure I have 3. Okay. So let me just look at first. Okay. So I know what I can do here.
Whole time should be in average.
Just looking at the occurrences also.
Mhm.
Okay. And okay, so in my data that I have 450 observations wherein I have 1 to 2 years has 180, 2 to 4 has 180, and 4 to years is 90. This is the median that we have, sort of mean that we have because Excel has proactively calculated mean. So I can play with some data for 4 plus years. Sorry, I can play with some data for 1 to 2 and make it non-significant. So allow me a minute. And let me put some numbers here, some significant numbers. So let me just second. So this is just I'm playing with the data to make you understand, but never do it while doing the test, just to show it. Okay, this is only for training purpose, not to be done for any real data sort of way. So tenure 4 plus, let me put some significant number here, 50, 67, 67, 43, 103. So I'm making this shift poor. This tenure of people little harsh. 100. Should I leave it or do you think it's enough? What do you guys think? We penalize them a lot. So let's leave them. So I am just putting this new data now, and I don't know whether it would be not normal or not normal. So let's go to stats, basic stats, graphical summary. So again, it is non-significant because we have played with the data like anything. Now I want to do the moods median. So stats, non-parametric, moods median test. So here I mentioned the hold, and
Tenure.
we played with the tenure, right?
Yeah.
It was tenure, yeah.
Right.
Oh my God, it is still not.
Yeah.
It is still not, because there were some of the variables which is so probably I can show it to you tomorrow.
I think it must be because even though we have put in a lot of new variables, still it only takes the median. So even though you have put in a number of variables, it doesn't change the median.
That is one reason also. That is one reason also. But there is, this data has a lot of special cause already. Okay, which has already concluded this data is not normal. And in this particular case, their medians are not very far away from each other, because we have played with only one shift. If I would have, so I will show to you tomorrow. I will try to do some test and will show to you tomorrow that how does it look like. But just imagine that these are the medians. Okay, if the p-value would have been lesser than 0.05, whichever has the higher median, okay, because it's a whole time, is that where I'll be focusing on. I will be working on that particular tenure to improve the problem. Okay, is this clear to all of you that what is the action that I will be taking, which of the categories I will be working on? Because while looking it graphically, it was clearly visible that this team is not performing well when I checked it on Excel, but I was not pretty sure. I want to statistically prove. I want to prove statistically when, by saying that these two tenure is performing significantly better than this. That's what I'm doing the hypothesis test for.
Yeah. So Simar, just a question. In a real world, the initial analysis that we did a correlation. So if my x was y was HT and x was hold, in that scenario, if my correlation shows that it has an impact, then the next step would be I would keep hold and then check it with the other discrete metrics and then come up with this conclusion. Am I correct?
So Rahul, your Y was hold or HT?
No. So in a scenario, if my y was HT, the first test I did was to check a correlation between HT and hold because both are continuous.
So your
Right.
hold was X, correct?
Yeah, hold was the X. So in that scenario, while my hold was the X, I concluded that yes, it has a significant impact. Now, when I compare hold being a continuous data, and then compare it with the other discrete metrics that we are considering like tenure and all that stuff. So this is the second level of hypothesis that we will do in a real world.
Okay, so that's a very complex question that you asked, and I want to repeat it what you said so that everybody can understand what Anand is talking about. Okay, this is something out of the box that we do, but yes, we can do that. That doesn't make any sort of difference. So I'll write it and make you explain. So what Anand is saying. Okay, so what Anand is saying, and please pay attention to it. This is a good question, and you can use that. My Y is HT, my X is HT, whole time. Anand, correct me if I'm wrong in between, okay? I did a correlation and regression, and I identified that there is a positive sort of relation, which means if my hold increases, my HT increases. So I've kind of made a strategy, yes, that I'll be working on the hold time to improve. So hold time is significant. Okay. Now I have two options. I can do, if I want to do a one-way ANOVA, or I want to do, depending upon the type of data that I have, I can do HT with shifts that I have for one-way ANOVA, because now I'm looking at another X. I can do HT versus team leaders, managers, I can do HT versus different zones that I have. But what Anand is saying, he's saying that now he wants to do a hypothesis test not on the Y, he wants to do it on the X, which means he wants to do a one-way sort of a test, which is on hold time versus shifts, which means he is doing an RCA, root cause analysis, on hold time. That one thing is for sure that hold time has a significant impact. That I've already concluded. Now I want to use hypothesis again, wherein hold time, which was my X, I've considered that as my Y just to get to the root cause, and this is my X. Is that your question?
Yeah. That's
Is it 100% what you're saying?
yes. That is exactly what I
There is no harm in doing it. If you can statistically prove again that there is a shift which is impacting hold, you can do it. But if you want to make an RCA at the top and do some sort of non-hypothesis analysis also, wherein you can, without doing hypothesis, you can break hold time into different shifts and conclude. But if you want to do hypothesis here, nobody can stop you. You can do that.
Perfect. Yeah.
Is this question clear to all of you? Is this question clear to all of you? Did you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yes.
What's RCA?
Root cause analysis.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, got it.
That's a very common terminology used in service industry. Root cause analysis. I think it used in IT industry also. And there's a CAPA, corrective action, preventive action. So it's an RCA. So you can use both of this also. You can use this as well, because you can use one way here also. There is no harm in doing it. Minitab will allow you to do it, because Minitab doesn't know what is X, what is Y. Minitab only knows what is continuous and what is discrete. You can do that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for asking. Very good question, Anand. Really appreciate it. So that is what is Moore's median. So if I want to do a one sample T, I just want to show you the path. But rest you all know. So for that, I go to stats. I go to ANOVA. I go to one way. Okay. In response, you will always mention whatever you are. So let's put AHT here. And in factor, you can mention team leader. Okay. So here, the p-value is 0.060. And you look at the means here. Here it is mean. So which of these three do you think you will be working on? Andy Stewart, Mary Conn, or Paul Smith?
Andy Stewart.
Okay. Absolutely.
We are still unable to say, unable to reject the null hypothesis. So would we be working?
No. Since I don't have an example ready wherein the p-value comes, I'm just trying to explain it to you. Here in this case, the p-value is greater than 0.05. So you would accept the null hypothesis, you would reject alternate. But yes, would it had been alternate hypothesis, then you would have considered. But here in this scenario, you would have gone with that team leader has no significant impact on HT, where means I would say the mean difference is not significant between these three different team leaders. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we'll do a two sample T. Okay. So the path to do two sample T, stats, basic stats, two sample T. Okay. Here in samples, you would mention the continuous data that you have. Okay. In subscripts, you can mention gender, because gender has two variables. Click on OK. And here the p-values again, that there is no significant difference between the mean of male and female. Okay, although there is a difference of 8 here, 452 and 8, but Minitab says it is not significant. So what I'll do is I'll ensure that I will come up with some data wherein I'll be able to show you these tests as significant, so that you would also have a revision sort of thing. I would do it for one or two tests, and wherein you would be able to understand. In the real world, when you will have a humongous data, then you would get the real picture. This is an example sort of a data wherein it shows that whether it shows insignificant, but this is how we would do the two sample T or one way NOVA. So always remember, in two sample T or one way NOVA, it is the mean that we are considering. We are comparing the mean of two samples or more than two samples. In case of Moore's median or Mann-Whitney, we are comparing the median of
Medians.
two or more samples. So that's what I'll just go back to where we started. Okay, so this is how we will be focusing on these tests. Okay, now I want to show you a test which is called test of equal variance. What does test of equal variance tell me? Test of equal variance tells me whether there is any significant difference between the two variables that we have. Okay, so for that, what we do is I go to stats. Okay, I go to regression. Sorry, I go to ANOVA, and I go to test of equal variance. Here what I'm doing is, so my condition remains the same. My y is continuous and my x is discrete. So here I don't have to do all sort of different tests. Here there is one test which tells me the p-value for normal and p-value for not normal both. I will have to pick and choose at which of these I'll be working on. Okay, so I'm considering HT. We know the HT data is not normal, and factors that I have put here is, let's say I put trainer here. So let's say put agent name here. Let's say I have multiple. I click on OK. Here there are graphically representation also. Okay. In case of a normal, if the data would have been normal, I would consider this Bartlett test. If it would have been not normal, I would consider Levine p-value. As I said, I don't have to do different tests for Bartlett, different for Levine, different for F-test. For test of equal variance, it tells me everything. So which means my p-value is 0.00, which is a significant impact, which means their variance is significantly different from each other. Although their mean was not significantly different from each other, average is good. But when it comes to variance, there is a lot significant difference between that. You can see here. I'll just show it to you in the session window. Here you see the standard deviation. Okay, you see here 264, 228. So there's a significant difference. So which of these agents do you think you would be working upon to improve the variance?
The one with the highest standard deviation.
Absolutely. So AMI, the first one, AMI Evedistian is the one, okay, which has higher standard deviation. This is also we need to work on. This is pretty good, okay, which is you have to look at what is the average median, and then you probably can make a call that which of these you have to look at, and that's how you'll be able to make a call. So the lower the standard deviation is, the better it is, okay, and it also gives you a range 202 to 372, the minimum and the maximum value, and N talks about the sample size at me. So test of equal variance doesn't tell me the mean or median of two different samples or more than two different samples. It tells me whether there is a significant difference between the variance of these samples.
So Simar, from this, if we have data which has like say 50 or 60 team leaders, while we are segregating, we see the standard deviation. Is there any industry accepted standard of how we will go, whether it will be the 80-20 principle again on which people we will target, or we'll just go with what stakeholders say?